My dear brothers and sisters, let me ask you something straight. You lock your doors at night. Yes, you have insurance for your car. Yes, you have passwords on your phone. Yes, you check your bank account. You worry about your health. You fear for your children. But tell me, who is covering the things you cannot see? You have wealth but no barakah. You have a house but no peace. You have a spouse but no love. You have children but they are losing their faith. And yet, you sleep soundly because you have full coverage from an insurance company. Subhanallah. Today I want to give you something deeper. A dua that covers everything you have and everything you are. You think a steel door stops a problem. You think a CCTV camera scares away destiny. You think a good alarm system and a strong lock keep you safe while you sleep. Listen to me carefully. I am not telling you to stop locking your doors. Of course, lock your doors. Of course, secure your home. Of course, put your money in the bank. Of course, take your medicine. Of course, wear your seatbelt. That is not the problem. The problem is when you start believing that these things are what actually protect you. The problem is when your heart puts its trust in the lock instead of the lock keeper. The problem is when you feel safe because of your insurance policy, but you have not even whispered the name of Allah over your family. Let me tell you something that will shake you if you truly think about it. A problem can come from a direction you never imagined. A problem can come from your own child's heart. Yes, your own child. The one you fed, the one you raised, the one you spent sleepless nights for. That child could be the source of your deepest pain if Allah does not protect them. A problem can come from your own nafs, your own ego, your own tongue. You could destroy your own marriage with one angry word. You could destroy your own health with one haram bite. You could destroy your own peace with one glance of jealousy. A problem can come from an evil eye that you laughed at. You said, "Oh, these people are superstitious." No, my dear brother. The Prophet A said the evil eye is real. And that evil eye could come from someone who sat at your dinner table, someone who smiled at your face, someone who said, "Mashallah," while their heart was burning. A problem can come from a sickness no doctor saw coming. You did every test, every scan, every checkup. And still one morning, you wake up and your whole life changes. So who is covering you from these things? Who is covering you from the things that do not even have a name yet? Who is covering you from the harm that has not even been created but is already written? Who is covering you from the moment your foot slips? Who is covering you from the whisper that comes at 3 a.m.? Who is covering you from the thought that leads to the action, that leads to the destruction of your akhirah? The Prophet had taught us a dua, and this dua is not just words. This dua is armor. This dua is a shield. This dua is a fortress. He taught us to say in the morning and in the evening, Bismillahilladhi la yadaru malas mihai shade fil ardi wa la fis samai wa huwas samil alim. In the name of Allah, with whose name nothing on earth and nothing in the heavens can cause any harm. Nothing. Not a virus, not an accident, not a thief, not a jealous neighbor, not a corrupt boss, not a rebellious child, not a sudden death, not a financial crash, nothing. And He is the all-hearing, meaning He hears your whisper when you say it. And He is the all-knowing, meaning He knows what is coming for you before it even leaves its place. Now tell me, which insurance company gives you that coverage? Which lock gives you that security? Which password gives you that protection? Which steel door stops a calamity that Allah has allowed? None. Zero. Absolutely nothing. But when you say this dua with presence, with certainty, with trust, you have placed your entire existence under the care of the one who does not sleep, does not forget, does not get tired, does not fail. You see, my dear brothers and sisters, the problem with us is that we have reversed the equation. We spend hours comparing insurance plans. We spend money on security systems. We research the best neighborhoods. We vet the best schools. We do everything for the body, for the wealth, for the reputation, but for the soul, for the Iman, for the heart, for the protection of our children's faith, for the protection of our marriage from shaitan, for the protection of our minds from doubt and despair. For that, we do nothing, or we do very little. A quick dua here, a distracted recitation there, and then we wonder why our lives feel unprotected. We wonder why we have everything but no peace. We wonder why we are surrounded but lonely. We wonder why we have money but no barakah. Let me give you a practical example. Two men leave their homes in the morning. One says this dua with his heart present. He locks his door. He drives carefully. He does his work. but his trust is in Allah. The other man does not say the dua. He also locks his door. He also drives carefully. He also does his work. But his trust is in the lock, in his driving skills, in his savings. A crisis comes, a test comes, a sudden loss comes. Which man will stand firm? Which man will say, Keda Allah, with a peaceful heart? Which man will not break? The one who had full coverage from Allah. Not because he avoided the problem, but because he knew, even before the problem came, that nothing touches him except what Allah wrote. And that Allah wrote it with wisdom, with mercy, with a plan better than his own. So I am asking you today, do not be impressed by your own precautions. Be impressed by the one who allows your precautions to work or not work. The same lock that protects you today can fail you tomorrow. The same health you have today can leave you tomorrow. The same job you rely on today can fire you tomorrow. But the name of Allah, the protection of Allah, the coverage of Allah, that never fails, not in this life, not in the grave, not on the day of judgment, that is full coverage, and that is the only coverage worth trusting. My dear brothers and sisters, let me now take you to the second point, and I beg you to listen with an open heart, because this is where so many people go wrong. This is where so many people try Islam, and then they say, it didn't work for me. And the reason it didn't work is because they approached the dua like a magic spell, not like a relationship. They approached the words like a lottery ticket, not like a lifeline. And when the magic didn't happen, they walked away. They became disappointed. They became cynical. They said, I tried and nothing changed. So let me be very clear with you today. This dua is not a spell. This dua is not an incantation. You do not say it 3 times while your mind is in the kitchen thinking about breakfast, while your heart is in your bank account thinking